Her second visit to the United States. She competed 2 years ago in the McDonald's USSR Challenge. Finished fourth all around. We said, what'd you like about the United States? She had that big smile, said, everything.
This full twisting double back at the end of a routine is so difficult. She had a problem on it yesterday, but look at it here. She had good height. She landed well. She got her foot right on the line, so she stayed in bounds. And good way to finish up for her. And
with that performance, after a really terrible struggle in the preliminaries, barely did make it into the final eight, she should move into the third place position in this competition between the two American girls. She said she watched the Olympics in 1988 from her home in Odessa on television. She said I was very nervous as I watched that incredible battle between my Soviet friends and the Romanians, and Shushanova versus Silovash. And Daniela Silovash, who's now retired, it reminds us that she is so many girls mentioned her name as the one that they admire most of all.
She was definitely a big favorite of everybody. She was also a great artist.
9.80, so Stopchataya moves into third place behind Okina and Semeskol. And Trent Demas, this is his event. In fact, as only a 16-year-old, he was a silver medalist in the national championships in Kansas City, 1987. I remember, Tim, that he does a sensational triple dismount. Has he still got that in his routine?
He sure does. Fasten your seat belts, folks, because we are in for some high-flying gymnastics here. Trent is fabulous on this event. He'll show us his major release skill right off the bat here. It's called a Kovacs. Now watch this. Two flips completely over the bar. Way in the air. Oh boy. Now his second release sequence. Here's a Tkachev. Right into a Ginger. Boy, he is just slashing his way through this routine. He's got a big one left, though. 3 flips, triple back. He was a little close yesterday. Whoa. Oh, boy, that's a major problem for Trent.
So Demas in first place into the 6th and final rotation, his specialty. And whether that tumble on the dismount will cost him the championship, we'll see. He needed only a 9.0 to win it.
His first release skill, he travels completely over the bar and says, there it is. Now let's watch what went wrong on his dismount here. Remember, 3 flips. It's a lot to get done in one space of air. Pulls on those knees extra hard, just holds onto it a little too long, and you notice his hips are behind his feet. And when that happens, there's no way you're going to land that dismount.
But Demas had such a sensational start in the first 4 rotations. He either had the highest score or tied for the highest, and 9.40, disappointing for him in the event, but that'll be good enough to win it. Let's go down to Bob. No, apparently Bob is not close enough to Trent at the moment, as Demas has wandered away from his broadcast location. So we'll get a chance to meet this 20-year-old from Albuquerque, New Mexico, when we return.
You should cheat her.
Daggett gave us an indication as we welcome you back that you can never count on anything in that high bar. And here's Trent Demas in his specialty, having his lowest score of the 6 rotations, 9.40, but nevertheless becomes in the last 6 years. Brian Ginsberg was the last in 1987, and Bob Newmeyer is with the 1991 champion.
Okay, Dick, this is a twist on that old saw about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. This was, I guess, the reverse, because you had the dismount problem and you came back with a long face, and then seconds later you heard that you had won it all.
Well, it's difficult to say that, you know, I did very well, but the thing is to finish up high bar, which is my best event, and to finish up with a very good routine. I like to finish out with a good note.
But you left school early to train for events like this. So this has to be kind of the icing on the cake, kind of set you up for next year in pretty good shape?
Yes, I feel that it is. I made a big decision going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and training with Ed Birch at Gold Cup Gymnastics. And I'm just competing purely for the United States Gymnastics Federation.
Speaking of that, realistically, your chances, the men's chances to make an impact in Barcelona next year?
I think we have a big impact. If we can train very hard together as a team, 100%, and there'll be no discrepancies in coaching, I think that our team has a very good chance of doing well and possibly even medaling.
Many major players here in international gymnastics.
Yeah, but we have a good team also. You know, capitalism can still do it. Can still do it. We've got a lot of incentive behind us, in front of us, and I think the guys on the team are young, and we all really want it.
Congratulations. Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Trent Dimas. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, you can tell Trent Dimas is a fighter. He takes after his dad, a former New Mexico Golden Glove champion. Tim Daggett, everyone wants the American men to do well, but boy, that's a big mountain to climb.
Well, it certainly is a big mountain, Dick, but you know, there's so many changes that are going on in the world today, and the former Eastern Bloc really dominated the sport of gymnastics for so long. Those changes are going to have dramatic ramifications on how well this U.S. team can do. They're a young team. They're very optimistic, as you heard from Trent Dimas. So I think we do have some legitimate shots in Barcelona.
Well, it's been a brilliant day in Orlando, Florida for both the women and the men wearing the red, white, and blue, and we'll return in a moment. In Orlando, waiting for the ceremonies to celebrate the champions of 1991's American Cup. And here are the final results in the men's division. Trent Dimas of Albuquerque is the new champion. And Chris Waller with a tremendous rally in the last two rotations. The UCLA senior earned second place. Miguel Rubio of Spain, he's looking forward to his efforts in Barcelona. He's performed at Houston Baptist as third, and Canadian champion Curtis Hibbert finishes fourth. And for the women, Betty Okino, brilliant today, and had to be to defeat her teammate Kim Zemeskal, 1-2. Stopchikaya of the Soviet Union finishes third, and Karen Boucher of France is fourth. It's been a delightful weekend. Julianne, any impressions on the women's side?
Well, I think the big story, of course, is Betty Okino and Kim Zemeskal, 1 and 2. But let's not forget that yesterday in the preliminaries, the Americans finished 8 places, 8 out of the top 9 positions. So we've got more depth than we ever have.
And Tim, the men?
Well, I think, you know, that they have a lot of momentum at this point. The men did extremely well at the Goodwill Games this summer. Now they've gone 1-2 at the American Cup. The next major competition in gymnastics, of course, takes place in the United States in Indianapolis, the World Championships in September. So they have the momentum. They've just got to get the job done.
That's our story from Orlando. Julianne McNamara and Tim Daggett, Bob Newmeyer, Dick Henberg. We now go to Gail Gardner in New York, NBC Update.
Thank you, Dick. Coming up on the Prudential Update, we will talk live with Pat Riley about tomorrow's Lakers-Pistons game, and we will update you on a couple of Jacksons, Mo and Mark. We'll get to that right after this message.
The McDonald's American Cup Gymnastics Championships have been brought to you by Visa, official card and traveler's check of the 1992 Olympic Games. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Isuzu, for features, styling, and price, there's no comparison. By Soloflex Muscle Machine, a new era in fitness. And by McDonald's, always good food, always good value.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports.
Curl, go for the green. Color-coded curl.